Hello, this is Christine at Spring Creek Bathworks, and today I am making a soap for normal skin. This is not my main recipe. My main recipe is for sensitive skin. Here I have the lye water with tussah silk in it, and here, this is hot lye water. I'm using the heat transfer method. This is a recipe that I made up. It's lard, coconut oil, castor oil, grapeseed oil. That's it. Lard, coconut, castor, and grapeseed. And the reason that I made this recipe, which you may be surprised does not have any olive oil, is because my very close friend has a teenage son who's been having food allergy problems and skin problems for years. They just had gotten back a blood test and it showed that he was allergic to olive oil. They already know he has an anaphylactic allergy to tree nuts. I just spilled a little bit of lye. He was suffering very badly with eczema, and they never knew he was allergic to the olive oil before, so they were having trouble finding something that he could wash. I'm just going to get some water here. That he could wash with because of all the allergies, and the eczema was giving him pain for using typical soaps that they were trying, and liquid soaps, and what we call detergent bars. Throw that out. So she knew that I was making soap, and she asked me if I could figure out a way to have soap for him that would be gentle and that would not contain anything he was allergic to. She only wanted essential oils. She does not like fragrance oils. And I love her to death, and it does no good to try and argue with her, so I wasn't going to get into a discussion about safety of fragrance. But in selecting a essential oil, I decided to use lemongrass and tea tree blend because it smells nice. The boy is a teenager, as I said, and I figured that maybe get a paper towel here. I figured that, you know, tea tree can't hurt. I never make any medical claims, but I figure the lemongrass is nice and the tea tree. So I do an essential oil blend, and I also, at the time, well, in the past, when I've made this soap, I have infused annatto seed into the coconut oil, and to add like a yellow color, and it's pretty bright when it comes out of the mold, and then over the next months it fades and fades. Now, at the time that I made this, I was using a lot of bentonite clay in my soap. I like it because it adds a slip to the soap, but it colors the soap a greenish gray tinge. The brand that I use, to me, is more green than gray. I've seen other people's soap that looks light gray. This is mine from New Mexico, bentonite clay. And this does interfere with colors, so I stopped using it as a regular ingredient in all of my soaps whenever I'm using the mica colorants or other colors that I don't want it to interfere with. But people love it, so it's a kind of a weird thing when I know that people are affected by visuals and they like a pretty soap, but they also love the way the clay is, so it's kind of a fine balance. Anyway, my friend doesn't want any artificial colorants, and she doesn't want any micas, and I made the soap for them, and then other people loved the scent so much when they smelled it that they bought it, and then they love the soap. So it's kind of a different approach when somebody buys on scent, not primarily visual prettiness, and then they love it, and then they want to rebuy it. So anyway, I'm at a strange place where I make soap with essential oils that's more basic And then other times when I make the pretty soap, people buy it for the pretty, plus they like the scent. Anyway, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I do a combination. I do fragrance oils, I do essential oils, I do basic looking soap, and I do more fancy soap. Now, oops, forgive my, I have like a lisp right now because I got braces 3 weeks ago, and they're moving my front teeth around, and I have spaces between my teeth now, so it's kind of annoying to me that I have a lisp. And they also, after they put the braces, glued the braces on, then the doctor tells me that he has to file my teeth down with a saw to make room. So now my teeth are shaped differently. And I'm petrified that when this is all over, I'm going to end up with permanent spacing between my teeth and this lisp. I hope not. Anyway, all right, so this is the heat transfer method. This is a really, really high solid fats recipe. This has, let me add it in my head, 85% solids. So I put the hot live water in, and it really cools down quickly. So I'm going to stick blend this to help this go. You saw that I put in the clay dry. I used to mix it with oil, and it's really not necessary. Once in a while, I might get a little clump inside the middle of a bar of soap. It is not traumatic or problematic. I read a good ebook. Well, it was a paper. It still is a paper book, but it's also an ebook by Ann Watson. It's called Smart Soap Making. I read it last year, and last year was my 7th year. So I'm not a beginner soap maker, but it's a really, really good book. It's on Amazon for 99 cents. Or if you're lucky, you can get it for free, that I did on one of those days when they offered the free ebook. There's a Kindle app that's free for a PC or for iPhone or iPad. So you can get these free Kindle books and learn things from them. So she was really good in that book. She talked about a lot of myths of soap making and how people say you have to do it this one way, and it's not true. And so putting clay in dry is another one. Here goes the essential oil. It's another one of those things that people say must be done, that it doesn't really have to be done. Okay, you might get a clump. There's your risk. So you decide what you want to do. I'm going to stick blend this. I know that I'm pushing the envelope with the size of this container. I need to buy a nice larger one. Here goes nothing. I don't want this to overflow. This reminds me of the cooking recipes when they tell you to move the stick blender up and down. Oops, it overflowed a little bit. Caught a little air there. You see these essential oils are at the top. I want them to go under. Next time we're at Restaurant Depot, I'm going to get that new container. It was under $15. It was, it's clear. It's a plastic that can handle the lye. It would let me see the sides, see through the sides. All right, let me stick blend this again. I'm trying to burp this. By the way, I'm soaping at 30% water. So it goes to trace really quickly. Plus there's a lot of lard in here. Gotta love the power of the stick blender when it moves your bowl across the counter. So this is coming out an off-white light gray. Just kind of stirring it. Let me give it another stick blend. This is thick trace. See how it stacks up? It's almost not quite pudding. Very thick trace. All right, I'm just going to mold this. I'm not going to bother. Look at that thick trace. I'm going to use the tall skinny mold, and I haven't decided what other molds. I did just get a delivery in the mail. This came from China. This is a little Easter bunny and Easter basket and some flowers. So I might throw some mica in and make that colored, or maybe I'll just make this uncolored. I just bought one of those. All right, I hope you have a nice day. This is my lemongrass and tea tree soap for normal skin. Oh, by the way, I'm saying normal skin because it has a higher amount of coconut oil than I usually use. So it is more dry. It is for normal skin, okay? But it's more drying out than my recipe that uses less coconut, that is more gentle on the skin. This has castor oil in it to help with bubbles, especially for those like me who have hard water. And it has lard and grapeseed, which is nice for the skin. So this is I call this more of a basic recipe. There's no butters in it because of that boy's risk for allergies for tree nuts and other things. We didn't know. The mom said she didn't want mango butter and she didn't want shea butter. So this to me is a more basic recipe, but people love it. People who like a lot of bubbles like this and people who don't have sensitive skin love this soap. So this is my normal skin recipe that I now make, and lemongrass and tea tree essential oil with bentonite clay and tussah silk. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Take off my glove there.